may be aware, there was something put out by Oz where he did say that there was some stuff found in the files that indicated that Octane and Crypto heirloom recolors were going to be coming in the near future, and he was correct about this. They are actually in the files, but I was talking to Bias12 about it, and he figured out where they are in the files, and both the heirloom models got retexture shaders, but no actual textures to it. So it's something that they are working on, but by no means are they anywhere near ready to probably go, or will we see them in the upcoming season. That being said, I did get some information, and I went to Oz with it, and I basically told him, hey, I know you saw Crypto and Octane stuff in the files, but I'm like 99% sure it's Bloodhound's heirloom recolor coming next. And he asked how so. And I mean, what do you mean how so? I have heard it's for Rag Army, and that's not when we're actually going to be getting Newcastle's heirloom. So Oz went ahead and actually asked some of his inside sources, and he said, okay, just asked around. They said Bloodhound is indeed the next recolor. I was like, yep, because you know, I know my stuff. Anyways, he said it should be following the theme of the Rag Army skins, aka lava stuff. So in case you didn't know, the Rag Army skins shown here by Hypermist all have this lava theme going on. There's some pretty cool ones such as Revenant, Loba, Pathfinder, Mad Nagy, Caustic, Valkyrie, Wraith, and Horizon. Those are the ones that we know about so far, and this actually makes a lot of sense if you guys think about it, because Rag Army is short for Ragnarok. In fact, for whatever reason, this season was supposed to be called Ragnarok. Every event is codenamed Rag, but for whatever reason, it was changed at the last minute to Ignite. But if you're gonna have a Ragnarok themed event, well, there makes a lot of sense that Bloodhound would be the one that would get the heirloom recolor. They are a Norse themed character after all. In fact, when we look at some of the events coming up, thanks to Hypermist, there's 5 that we know of: Rag B, Rag Knight, Rag Onyx, Rag Army, and Rag Old. And we have the Uprising Collection event coming on December 5th. I'm not sure which one of those rags it is, but Rag Knight sounds like that would be the most likely one for the Newcastle heirloom. For instance, in the files, there is a pilot sword found, which is tied to Newcastle's ultimate sound. It is coming in the future, but what's important to know is that it does not have a date here. The next event coming after Uprising is going to be the Rag Army events, which comes on January 3rd or 9th. That means Newcastle's heirloom will actually probably be coming later in the season if this all ends up lining up. I know it's like a little confusing, but it would make sense that that is the direction that they are going, especially with Loba getting her new prestige skin, her kill code story ending, and Revenant's story last season ending, and Revenant getting his heirloom recolor and prestige skin last season as his lore got wrapped up with Loba, and they're finally finishing that off, which makes me think that because Bloodhound is getting heirloom recolor, that is actually the next story direction they're going to go in. We've already gotten Bloodhound's story from the Outland, and there was an odd story quest in Season 10 of Apex Legends where you had to collect the Ravens, and there was a special lore piece of armor you got / skin, but it really made no sense. I don't know if anyone in the comments can actually explain what actually happened at the end of that, because it was very, very confusing. But I am hopeful that we actually get more Bloodhound lore, because their lore is, in my opinion, some of the most interesting. Plus, it's about time that we got an update for Bloodhound's heirloom. When you look at the animation, it is pretty plain and boring. It was the heirloom released right after Wraith, so it does make a lot of sense that they would go ahead and do this one next, because it just doesn't have that many unique functions to it. In fact, it makes sense that Wraith was updated first because it has the least amount of animations, then you would do Bloodhound next, and I think that Revenant just jumped the line because they were doing an entire season based around Revenant. I've also heard rumors that Mirage is actually on the list, coming before Octane and Cryptos as well, which also once again lines up as his heirloom is very, very old. Now, all that being said, we probably will see Crypto and Octanes very soon. Octane has a very high pick rate, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Octane heirloom recolor in the very near future. That being said, they don't have any textures right now, so I would not plan on seeing those anytime soon, and you should be expecting a Loba prestige skin, a Bloodhound heirloom recolor, and a Newcastle heirloom, hopefully by the end of this season.